How do you react when things are not going according to plan? At work, especially. Because when they don't go according to plan at home, I think we're feel more free to express ourselves and tell our loved ones how we truly feel. In the work environment, it's harder to do, right? Just I saw a meme one day that said how to be a grown-up at work. Replace fuck you with okay, great. So basically, smile and wave. And so my story is that when things didn't go my way, and I don't mean that. What I mean is actually, it's not as about the way. It's more that my opinions and my views and my proposed solutions were not valued. So I just wasn't seen. I was ignored. I was kept on my toes, okay? By just not being appreciated, or just kind of appreciated, but only like as a manipulation. I was like, okay, good job, like here's a little bit of a carrot, but you're not getting too much more. Yeah, so when I felt that way, I really kind of would go fuck you and check out, like disconnect, basically, like just I don't, like truly don't give a fuck anymore. I hurt myself more than anybody else in this situation. I probably learned that behavior back when I was a kid and had very strong-willed, controlling father, and his way a highway. And became a rebellious teenager. Again, to hurt my father, I hurt myself, wasn't him, obviously. And then I repeated the pattern. And then I repeated the pattern over and over with my superiors, which were mostly men, as you can imagine. And So I learned recently something very valuable. Because when I react and basically go fuck you, even if it's internal voice and I don't verbalize it, I'm in submission. I'm being controlled. I'm totally being controlled. I'm allowing somebody else control me. Like basically they found the button, or I put it on display. Here's my button, press it. And they pressed it. And I got pissed off. And so like very easily manipulated, basically. And so my kind of like rebellion, was actually a form of submission. And I'm learning to surrender. I'm learning to surrender to what it is, Surrender my ego, surrender my big preferences of how things are supposed to be. And accept it and not try to change the outside world and other people's behavior, but to change my energy, to change how I feel and how I respond rather than react. And somebody told me, taught me, and I started using it, that instead of replacing fuck you with okay, great, I say internally, the inside voice, I remind myself that I'm divine and I know it. And the other person is divine, but they don't know it yet. And that's the difference between submission and surrender. And that's the difference between being triggered and controlled and being or learning to be triggerless and limitless. And then you cannot be controlled. Nobody can control you if you don't have any triggers, if you have no buttons to push.